Sebastian here for Comic Impact, bringing you another impactful origin, and this week we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. The amazing Spider-Man, the spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker, if you will, one of the greatest Marvel heroes ever created. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, first appeared in Amazing Fantasy 15 in 1962, which was the last issue of the series. Of course, he was created by Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, and Jack the King Kirby. One of the inspirations for Spider-Man was Richard Wentworth, aka the Spider, who we'll talk about in another show. After the Fantastic Four premiered, there was a surge in teen readers at Marvel Comics, and of course, gotta do what any business does and tap that market. And of course, the teenage superhero Spider-Man was born. I'm not going to bore you with overemphasizing his origin or getting too deep in it, just the basics here. The orphaned Peter Parker, living with his Uncle Ben and Aunt May, going to school at Forest Hills High School, of course gets bit by a radioactive spider and gets powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. And of course, being the whiz at science that he is, makes himself some web slingers, makes a costume for himself, and gets out there to start making money and make himself famous. But with his hubris comes tragedy, and the death of Uncle Ben at the hands of a mugger he just happened to let go of and not take care of. You've seen it in the origins a million times, in just about everything, and of course, with the death of Uncle Ben comes the greatest catchphrase, possibly, in all of comicdom, and that is, with great power comes great responsibility, which is often misattributed to Uncle Ben, who did not say that. It was merely the final caption to that first appearance. So with the web-slinger's powers having super strength, super speed, agility, climbing walls, his natural acuity towards science and making himself some web-slingers, he gets out there and he saves the day from any multitude of heroes. And of course, he's got his job at the Daily Bugle. He was a science teacher, his parents were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and again, that's probably for another show. He's got his ever-present lady love, Mary Jane Watson, of course not at the moment, due to some universe mix-ups. And of course, his once lost love, his greatest love, Gwen Stacy. And she's currently back from an alternate universe being the Spider-Gwen, which is a lot of fun. I say go check that out. There's actually a series coming out for that too. But I'm not here to talk to you too much about the origin. You all know it. You've all seen the movies, or you've seen the animated series, or you've hopefully read the comics. What we do have is a great multitude of Spider-Man stories, and there are so many, I can't cover them in one video. In fact, I could probably do a 10-minute video just listing hundreds of Spider-Man stories that you gotta go check out. But what I'm going to give you are some of my favorites. We've got the Death of Gwen Stacy arc, we've got the Marvel Knight Spider-Man by Mark Millar, we've got the current Spider-Verse going on right now, Ultimate Spider-Man, which is absolutely great by Brian Michael Bendis. We've got Spider-Man The Wedding Issue, we've got the Clone Saga, both of them, although the original one I think is a little bit better, although they did get the original creators of the Clone Saga to go back and kind of do the Clone Saga they had intended to do, which is worth checking out as well. Not to mention, we've got Spider-Man No More, of course the classic scene of Spider-Man tossing the spider suit in a garbage can. Not to mention Kraven's Last Hunt, another really good Spider-Man book, and of course my absolute favorite Spider-Man book, Spider-Man Blue by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It is a tearjerker. That gets down to the meat and bones of Spider-Man, what his loved ones mean to him. It's absolutely great. It's one of the best versions of the origin story you can possibly find. Apart from his comic book appearances, of which there are many, he's also made appearances at the Thanksgiving Day Parade with his own float. He's been in dozens of animated series, Spectacular Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man being two of my favorites. Of course, the famous 90s Spider-Man show, which everybody loves. He's also been in 5 movies. He's been in many, many video games. And of course, the Disney Infinity game coming out right now. You can get your little Spider-Man figure. Not to mention, he's also playable in-game. Really, really cool stuff. Was played by Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and of course, to cap that off, we've got somebody else going to be playing Spider-Man. But Sebastian, you say, but who? And I say, we'll just have to wait and see. But I will say this, Peter Parker, welcome home. Of course, with that, the news that Spider-Man is going to be in the Marvel movie universe, which is absolutely great. And that means, of course, we get to see Spider-Man unmasked in Civil War. So please stay tuned. There's a lot of big news this week, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video and want to see more, give us a like, hit the subscribe. We don't need your approval, but we'd like it. And follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, which we are currently updating. And not to mention, if you've got suggestions for me, you want to see a hero quickly covered, Shoot me a message, leave a comment down below. Take it easy, and thank you very much for watching.